Do you read me over?
Be advised, you are coming in weak and unreadable.
Say again, Com Tower. This is Pacho. Do you read me over?
Pacho, this is Com Tower. I read you Lima Charlie.
Com Tower, Com Tower. Request permission to launch and commence the field op. Over.
Stand by. Pacho, permission granted. I say again, permission granted.
Roger that. Launching podcast in 3, 2. You are now entering the field op with your host, Pacho Correa, Chief Warrant Officer 3, United States Marine Corps retired. Get some. Hurrah! Get some. Hurrah! What's going on, everybody? Hey, it's almost the weekend. So, with that being said, well, it's Friday Night Eve, Baby Friday. Goddamn, it's almost 4th of July. Shit. So, hey, happy early 4th of July. Today, we're going to take a lively look at Independence Day through the eyes of those who served and from the history behind the holiday and some hilarious stories, uh, you know, doing base barbecues and all that good stuff. And why there should be more than just hot dog and fireworks to the regular people. All right. But before we get started, let's talk a little bit about, hey, when was the last time you actually went through your finances, put a budget plan together, something that's going to get you out of debt, really achieve your financial goals, maybe pay off your house within the last, I don't know, within the next 10 years, maybe less. Well, give us a call at the Money Pro, we will put a financial plan together specifically for you. We'll teach you some things about, hey, what's the rule of 72, as well as how mutual funds are structured. And in addition to that, just educate you on the thrift savings plan, why you should invest outside of it. And if you're leaving the service and you're transitioning out, what things you should implement to get you going and set you up in the right mindset and set you up for financial success. So a lot of us get out, little to no information, and that we're just kind of feeling our way through things. And before you know it, we have all these other things that we never even thought of what we were in. So it's all on the show description right there. You can hit me up you can send me a DM, more info, and we could set up a 1 hour call where I'll give you some really good specific information, and it's just a conversation, no pressure, no commitment, no nothing. In addition to that, if you haven't filed the claim, but you want to maybe you want to increase your percentage through the VA, I can also help you with that. I've been helping veterans do that for the last 2 years or so, and they've gotten some really good results. And in most cases, we get your percentage rating increased. So with that, if you're interested, you want to find out about that, then again, send me a DM, and I'll be more than glad to help you out. Because look, whether you do it, you let me help you out or somebody else, you shouldn't be paying all kinds of crazy charges as it pertains to increasing your VA benefits. There's a lot of good companies out there, but there's some that are charging you a percentage or whatever else. So you shouldn't be paying. I'm just throwing it out there. But you should be putting in for a claim through the VA. I mean, you earn those. You earn that. That's your right. It's not asking for a handout, and you're not taking it away from anybody else. Believe me, I can guarantee you on that. So check it out, and then we'll go from there. And also, if you're interested about being a podcaster and you want to get some additional personal coaching on achieving whatever goals you want in life, give Brian Coburn at Sitchradio.com. Drop him a line. He'll be more than glad to have a conversation with you. And I mean, he's the guy who got me where I am today in many different aspects. So check out Sitchradio.com and check out one of their shows. If you like what you hear right now, hey, like, subscribe, and follow. If not, then check out some of the other great shows that they have on there. All right. So I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. And one last thing, please go on my YouTube channel and hit the analytics. I know I got 7,000 followers right here on Facebook. So if some of you could just go to the YouTube channel and just hit the like button, subscribe. That way, it'll just bump up the analytics for me. I would greatly appreciate it. So help your fellow veteran out. All right. So with that being said, everybody, hey, let's talk a little bit about Fourth of July and some of the things that and why again we take a different aspect of it. So I guess today's mission, we're going to unpack a little bit of Fourth of July, like a care package from home. Remember when you were deployed and you were getting all these care packages? They were always, really, really fun. Except when you got, just like unnecessary shit, like shaving cream and whatever else, because you could have bought it right there when you were, um, right there deployed. But why do we celebrate Fourth of July? Well, I mean, our nation turns 250. However, the independence a little bit different. That was signed on 1776. So the Declaration of Independence was adopted, basically kicking off the American Revolution. Fun fact: most founding fathers didn't even sign the document on July 4th. It actually took them some weeks. I mean, a lot of them were doing some revolutionary stuff uh, way back when. So it wasn't like, hey, let's all sit down and friggin' sign it. John Hancock, don't take too much space on the goddamn piece of paper, you know. So, but the first Independence Day celebration, it was actually there was a lot of bonfires, uh, cannon fires, and a public reading of the Declaration. Maybe we should start doing some of these things, kind of like when we do in the Marine Corps Ball. We actually do in the Marine Corps Ball or our celebration. We read General John A. Lejeune's birthday message, which is from the 1940s. I think just a little, and for us, it reminds us, our history, our heritage, where we came from, all that good stuff. Maybe we should do the same. In a time, man, it just these last couple of years, uh, we've been really divided. So little things like that. Again, I'm okay if we're divided, agree to disagree, but as a whole, we need to look strong in front of everybody else. And you've heard me say this before. And because why does Independence matter? Independence Day matters. Well, give freedom certainly was not given to us. I mean, it was earned, and it still is. I mean, those of us who deployed in the name of God, country, core, or whatever branch and freedom. I mean, we have to always present ourselves as a not only as a representative of this great nation of ours, but also we need to show ourselves like, hey, we're united. Hence the name United States of America, right? Because we're not in. You've heard me say this before. We are not a democracy. I mean, we have a system within the democracy, but as a whole, we are a republic. That's where people say, "Oh, we're a democracy." No, you're wrong. It's not that. We are a republic, and these here United States, that's how we start. So, I mean, that is the whole purpose, and why we're here. You know, it's like celebrating. A lot of us. I mean, shit. Even when I was deployed, I mean, we still celebrated the Fourth of July. Maybe it was a little bit different. I remember when we were in Iraq the first time in 2003, we were um, we were in this army base camp. It was called, I think, Dogwood. I think it's the name. And some fellow Fourth LAR members are listening to the show. Correct me if I'm wrong, but anyways, we didn't know what Obviously, we're in this army camp. We were in the back 40, our unit, and anyways, they said, "Hey, Luke, we're gonna have a Fourth of July celebration." Which we could use the morale boost, especially back then. We just needed it after being nomads for like the last, I don't know, 3-4 months driving all around that place. Anyways, at this army camp, the fireworks were actually flares, so pop up flares, which is pretty cool. I mean, and I got to give it to our army counterparts. They did an amazing job I mean, they must have gotten a bunch of privates and E1s, E2s to be popping these flares, and I don't want to imagine the rehearsal, but it was pretty cool. Obviously, we I don't think we were listening to AFN at the time because there was still no this 2003, so there were no flat screens, none of that infrastructure that we have today. Um, but as far as base traditions, yeah, we do have unit cookouts. Um, with really suspiciously great hamburgers now that I really think about it from the chow hall. Um, God, I don't want to know how long that meat sat in that refrigerator for a while. But hey, anyways, it was free burgers, whatever else, and PT competitions. Physical training competitions. Um, I remember, platoons versus platoon, companies against companies. I mean, we call them mandatory fun days. But you know what? Looking back at those times, I mean, those were really really cool. Obviously, you get bragging rights. Who was the strongest platoon, who was the dumbest. Whatever the case may be. But obviously, we had ceremonial flag raisings, 21 gun salutes, all that good stuff. Which, by the way, if you haven't been part of like change of command with a 21 gun salute, that's some pretty cool stuff to see. As much as I hated it when it just artillery units, it doesn't matter the branch, uh, they're just different. They're different kind of people. uh, but I will say that when we had this one change of command and we had a 21 gun salute, uh, that was pretty freaking amazing. I mean, my ears were probably why I got tinnitus nowadays. But I mean, it was pretty neat. You know, but nothing like says America like Marines setting up contraband fireworks in the barracks, which it did happen a couple of times. And in Camp Pendleton, obviously the fire condition being really high because it's and those of you who've been stationed in California, that. I mean, any little thing can set off a wildfire. But I mean, we've had instances where Marines cross state line, bring some stuff back with them, and I mean, just things happen in the back. What happens in the barracks uh, does stay in the barracks. You know what I'm saying? But America does have some really quirky traditions. By the way, in Latin America too. If people didn't know, by the way, Latin America, where I came from, Colombia, in Mexico, their Independence Day is around this time frame. By the way, Cinco de Mayo is not Independence Day for Mexico. So it was just actually a battle that was won against the French. Uh, it was just, but it's not their Independence Day. So if you're like, "Hey, happy Mexican Independence Day," you're you're wrong. Okay, I just want to point that out. But the whole point is that um, and it's a lot different for us, celebrating independence. Maybe especially in Latin America over there, we would, they would play the national anthem, whatever, some other things. Yeah, that's right. Soldiers don't sleep. I mean, yeah, they party all night. I mean, Marines. Yeah, I think any service member. I mean, I think my first, I don't know, 10, 15 years in the Marine Corps was was a test to my liver, if I could just put it like that. I've been sober since 2013, but I think that it was that. Hey, sorry, liver, trial by fire, brother. Um, you know, but especially when when the doctor's saying, "Hey, you got a fatty liver," shit like that. So that kind of wakes you up a little bit. Anyways, but yeah, so it's weird how each country as a whole have their own set of traditions. But here in the United States, something that I don't know why I love watching. I haven't watched it in a couple of years, but the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Uh, I mean, that's competitive gluttony in honor of freedom. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I did like when the guy Kobayashi, the Japanese dude, used to go in there. I mean, that guy was. pretty yoked too. But that guy was an eating machine, and but the crazy thing is that about these competitive eating contests, just kind of sideline. I was stationed in Mount Fuji between 2010 2011, and they actually brought some of the competitive eaters uh, to through the USO, and they got to we got to see them test their skills. I guess you could say, if you can say that, and with some of the members or the staff of Mount Fuji, with some Marines. And I mean, we had this guy named one of the guys that came is Joey something, the Italian guy. He's won the Nathan's Eating Hot Dog contest a couple of times. Anyway, this dude, and he had a stack of donuts. And what this guy did is that he would dip him in water, and then just two bites gone, boom, next. I think it was a couple of minutes, but I think I saw this guy eat like between 40 or 50 freaking donuts. I mean, and like nothing. And so I asked him, I'm like, hey, how does all that go down? You know what I'm saying? Like, he goes, do some of you guys like go back to your place, whatever, and just go to the toilet and pull trigger? Or, he goes, no, most of the time I just let it go, you know. I'm like, wow. He goes, yeah, but he did say the next couple of days it is pretty rough, but I'm sure your body or their bodies are accustomed to it. So yeah, the things like again, this is back in the 2010s. Um, so again, oh my god, I just had like that's like fucking 15 years ago. Um, I was still in my 30s back then. God, good lord. And these guys were, younger than I was too, as well. So, um, and as I just think about again as we age and the things that we worry about, it's pretty funny. But nowadays, you got to worry about your sugar intake. You can't eat fried foods, whatever. So I can't even imagine what some of these cats, for putting their body through all that stuff. Um, and the health issues that you gotta worry about, now as we get older. Anyways, let's bring it back. But the other cool thing is small town parades, random floats, tractor bridges, brigades, and kids pelting candy at people. um I grew when I came here to the US. I grew up in here in Florida and Miami. So I don't think we ever did. I didn't see anything of that, like kind of like that Americana romantic type of small town little parades and things like that. I will say that I did see that in the town when I was when I was with my kid's mom and everything in Alamo, California. Every Oh my God, you have to go see that over there. It's a really cool thing. People set out chairs the night before, and the weird thing, obviously, this town is people are very well off in that little town. Nobody steals the chairs or anything like that. So, but the next day, it's jam packed with people and little floats, and it's really really cool to see. For me, it was always these miners that it's like this. It's kind of like the lodge or the masons, whatever. But it's these, there were miners in the 1800s, whatever. And it was these group of people. Anyways, they walk around as like this somewhat quasi platoon formation, and they all have shotgun shells with blanks. And then they're in for forward march, and then they just set off at the same time. Boom. Yeah, think of it like a platoon, and everybody has a shotgun, and then they have these little things. They set them off one at a time. And then kids are just scrambling all over the place, including myself, trying to grab one of these shotgun shells from the ground. I don't know what it is about smelling, a shotgun shell. I don't know about you, but it's just that it's like that smells like freedom. You know what I'm saying? It's a really cool smell. Like, oh hell yeah, like a gunfight. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a weird jarhead like that. Obviously fireworks, disasters. I mean, I've seen almost a lot of good people almost lose their hair. Um, neighborhood shows kind of gone wrong. And they'll, hey, hold my beer, watch this. I mean, uh, and when, especially when you try to put, I remember one, my wife and I, we were, I went somewhere just when we're still in California. I went somewhere and I was on my motorcycle. I had gone to see a client or something like that. Anyways, I saw this humongous, fireworks thing in California. But obviously in California, you don't do explosives for whatever fucking reason. I don't know. It's just they're communists like that. Yeah, I know the freedom of smell. But anyways, they had like all these, like remember that one skit or that one monologue from Joe Dirt? Do you have any zippity do that, zippity do's, zippity don'ts? I mean, they had this firework thing, and so it was like $100 for like this fucking bucket of all kinds of cool stuff, and most of the stuff is just like lights and whatever. No, again, no explosives. Anyways, I put this stuff together and I went back to the house, and I was living, my buddy's house, and they had these. It's like 3 acres, and I was hoping, well, I hope I don't set shit on fire over here, but it was pretty cool. I mean, some of that stuff was spitting out. I was like, man, I hope it doesn't hit our neighbor's yard. But man, I don't know just what it is. It's like fireworks is just really, really freaking cool. And by the way, I think some of the coolest and best fireworks that I've seen was when I was in station in Japan. I mean, maybe it's because they don't have any restrictions over there. I don't know, but I mean, you could feel when they call them hanabi show. But I mean, and we were down in Atami Beach. I mean, and you can all. I mean, they seemed like they were those explosions were so close because you could feel the blast of these things, and they were huge. Like you could just touch it. But I really and a good firework. I mean, it's just really fucking cool, in my opinion, right? Uh, because and then everyone suddenly becomes pyrotechnic expert, like, oh, I would have done it that way, But I'm telling you, and living in a, I will say that living in a red state is it's really cool because I mean, if you can drive around here, it doesn't have to be 4th of July. I mean, you can see a TNT fireworks store just in just about every exit, a highway exit, or a black cat um, as well. I mean, and again, we go to Texas quite a bit, and just about every red state that we hit. I mean, you'll see us here. So I think it's all the way from maybe Texas all the way to the East Coast. I mean, if you those of you who if you know Black Cat TNT, you know what the hell I'm talking about. I mean, that's good shit right there. But serious on the serious side, freedom, the cost of freedom, it isn't free. You know what I'm saying? And us veterans, we do see 4th of July a lot differently. I mean, the sacrifices that we made as a whole to keep freedom alive. I mean, it's and that's why a lot of us, it really. And I hope I'm speaking for all of us. I mean, it really chaps my ass when I see people burning the flag, and I get it. It's your freedom, that freedom of speech, whatever. But those of us who I've been to Iraq, and I've in both in at the beginning and during the middle of it, and and the crazy thing is that I mean we've seen some how the tyranny and how some of these bad people just want to oppress the people. And there's, as an immigrant, and by the way, as an immigrant myself, I mean, I appreciate, although, where I was born and raised in Colombia, I still love where I came from. I'll never forget. And it's a very, very loving, very happy people, and patriotic. But I still know that my life is a whole lot better here, and because I've seen it not only when I was growing up, but in other places. So to us veterans, I mean, it means a lot different. And even myself, sometimes we even forget that. I mean, because you know, a lot we defended liberty, freedom, all America, whatever else, and Yeah, maybe sometimes when we're in Iraq and other places, yeah, those people may get like, hey, you need to. This is our place. Get out, whatever. Uh, but we're there. We honestly and I mean I still do that. We were doing there a good thing. Saddam Hussein was an asshole. Um, and that we were there to help them. And I really still do, and I believe that, and I don't regret how I served my country, how I, and the things that I've, and how it shaped me as an individual, and how, you know, overgiving I've been, helping people, helping others, because that's what America is all about. That's what freedom is all about. Um, you know, and how we honor those who fought, uh, you know, for our freedom. No, not just in recent, but all the way from the Revolutionary War, to today's service members. I mean, maybe they may be a little bit, I know we say sometimes in the Marine Corps is, man, if Chesty Puller were alive today, he'll be really upset at us. Um, maybe not, or maybe those our forefathers. What would they say if they felt how things are the way they are? Maybe they would. Would they be upset? I don't know. Probably. Or would they say, well, that's the whole point, that why we separated. That's their freedom to express themselves. Whether they want to use pronouns, whether they, whatever, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I think in some aspects, we shouldn't be so overly divisive, or divided, in the sense that we get upset at one another to the point that, hey, it goes on both sides, where we're rioting, we're destroying, good cities, we're, stealing and all that stuff. I mean, that's just that I have an issue with that. Hey, you can express yourself, disagree, whatever, hit the streets, but again, make it a peaceful gathering, in the sense that don't break shit up. Don't start, don't break into stores. Don't break the sweat, the back and the back sweat of others and their hard work and effort, just so you can make a point. I mean, what I never understood that, whatsoever. You know, so, um, I mean, barbecues are fun, but reflecting, having a little bit of reflection, maybe right after have a couple of beers, you grilled your food, you're getting ready to, start, scarving down some hamburgers and all that good stuff. But maybe you're doing it, just a little bit of reflection, saying, and saying, hey, thank you to our forefathers, thank you to those who are still here with us, those service members, and those who paid the ultimate price in the name of freedom. Because at the end of the day, all of us who raise our right hand, um, past, present, and future. I mean, we're the ones, and that are still here. We're the ones who, we made it. We wrote a blank check, and the ones that and there were some of us that we know that, that check was cashed out, and they're no longer here. So we need to be thankful, and remember them as well, not just on Memorial Day or Veterans Day or whatever, but, just every day. Okay, because, gratitude, we need to have gratitude for the freedom, for the freedoms that we enjoy today. Again, it's, and I'll say one last thing. I know I've been saying, yeah, one last thing, but there are some folks up in Congress and everything that, uh, are lobbying for us to be a communist country, or what's the word that's being thrown around, quite a bit, is, not communist, but, oh shit. I mean, come on, somebody help me out here on the comments, man. Um, but I'm telling you, if communism, worked, then, I mean, all the other countries that have attempted to be that, like Cuba, Venezuela, China, yeah, China may be somewhat successful, but Why are there a lot of migrants here? Because they oppress their people. There's no such thing as um, my stuff is their stuff, and whatever. I mean, I just don't see how some people want to even trade that whatsoever. So what what I will say is, look, everybody, celebrate responsibly. Don't drink. Here's your safety brief. Remember those? Yeah, but we don't have for me being the OIC. I don't have to piggyback of the first sergeant, or hey, just to reiterate what the first sergeant said. Look, have a safe 4th of July. Uh, drink responsibly. Don't forget to respect the flag. Remember those who made it possible, and also remember those who are no longer here. Uh, Watch out if you're in a state where they have fireworks and that you can buy explosive shit. Please be careful. Don't be a statistic, and that you lost a finger and whatever else may be. For my fellow active duty service members, please don't drink and drive. Have a buddy. I mean, there's so many things now. You can Uber. I don't know if you can Uber on base, but have a plan. If not, let them sleep right there on your couch. But let's not have anybody get a DUI, hit the blotter, and then next week standing tall, and then losing your rank, losing a stripe, or getting NJP'd, as we call it, ninja punched in the Marine Corps, and then the big green weenie without a kiss up your no, what. So with that, I think this is so this just light up a spark a conversation about freedom, what freedom really means to everybody. So I think this is a good place to index. If you've been thinking of ruminating and just in a dark spot, hey, ask a buddy to go hang out with him tomorrow. Go watch some fireworks, zen out. Hit me up at the show. There's plenty of resources. The military one source strike care, suicide hotline. But hey, it just there's a lot of good things here to be stick to so for you to stick around. So with that being said, everybody, I think I said goodbye to a shit ton of times. So ice the mouse, Daisuke. I'll see you next week. Hoorah! Get some.